Alright, what's going on guys? Today I wanted to make an updated video on my creator class setups as well as my settings inside of the game. So you guys can get an understanding of what I use and what my settings are in game. So, first thing I want to get out of the way is people always ask me what is the best ghillie suit in the game. And obviously that's all personal preference, but you know I have a lot of experience with it, so I'm going to tell you my personal what I think is the best ghillie suit in the game. So we're gonna come over to operators. We're gonna go to the coalition side. We're gonna go to the whole way over to Gollum here, and we're gonna select him. And if we have a look at his outfits, this is the one I use, the foliage skin. Obviously, you know there's a bunch of good ones up here like Night Raid and stuff like that, but I think foliage is the best skin in the entire game, and it's the one I've been using for weeks now. So I just wanted to get that out of the way because a ton of people ask me, you know, what ghillie suit actually thinks the best between Grinch's Nightfang and Gollum's foliage skin. So just wanted to get that out of the way. So moving into the settings part of the video, I'll show you every single one of my settings that I've tweaked. So I play on tactical button layout. What this does is it makes it so my right stick is crouch and slide, and then my circle button is my melee button. I've been using this button layout since Modern Warfare 3. To me, obviously button layout's all preference, but to me I feel like you get a lot more, like you can just be a lot more mobile with having your crouch button and your slide button right there on your thumb at all time, because you're never going to take your thumb, or the goal is to never take your thumb off the right stick. So yeah, I think tactical's definitely the way to go. Dead zone, I've been playing about with it. Sometimes I turn it right down. I had it at 9, but I feel like 6 for me feels the most responsive. That's what I've been using. 6, it just feels perfect for me. I can track people really well. You know, it doesn't feel like there's any delay or whatever. It feels honestly perfect. So yeah, give 6 Dead Zone a try if you haven't already. Moving on to my sensitivity, this one might be a bit high for some of you guys, but I play on just 7/7 high. You could play 6/6. 6/6 feels really good, but I like the, if you watch my streams, you'll know I like to do some crazy movement, and sometimes you just need that extra bit of speed just to flick around and like latch onto a wall or whatever. So yeah, ADS sense to have them both at 1. Maybe if you're maybe if it's a bit too high for you, but you like the feel of it, you could turn your ADS sense down just to make that a wee bit smoother. You could maybe change it down to 0.9 if you want. But me personally, I like to keep it on 1, and that's what I have them down on. Aim response curve. I used to play on dynamic for like competitive COD or whatever, but I've switched it back to standard, and honestly, like, I don't think I'll ever go back to dynamic because, every other COD game doesn't have dynamic, and this is the only one with dynamic, so it makes going back to older CODs feel like really weird, and all it does is really like speed up your sensitivity, and it's not, me personally, I don't think it's that useful. Controller vibration, I did use controller vibration for the longest time, but I turned it off. Because, I don't know, I feel like I can actually hit my shots way better with controller vibration off, because like your thumbsticks like vibrate as well, and it just doesn't really feel good. If you guys play with vibration on and you're thinking about turning it off, it is going to feel weird, but I say stick with it because it will help in the long run. Aim assist standard, don't try any of these aim assists. They basically just mess up your aim assist, so you always want to have it on standards. Mount activation, I have ADS plus melee. You could try double tap ADS, but I prefer ADS and melee. Let's see. Contextual top, always a must. If you don't have contextual top, you need to put this on. What this does is it lets you pick up stuff really fast in Warzone, and I'm sure you've seen like a lot of videos on this. So you probably already have, contextual top on. So yeah, you just in case you haven't already. Put that on. Slide behavior, I have top. This makes it so if you need a slide, you don't have to hold down your stick. You just tap your stick and it just instantly slides, and it's really helpful. What you can also do is you can double tap your slide button to do a slide cancel if you guys didn't know that, and that's pretty much everything there. Film grain, turn this right down. You don't need this. Safe area, I like to put this as close as possible to the center of the screen, so I don't have to move my eyes as far to look at my ammo. So that's another tip. Film grain, like I said, turn that right down. Motion blur, disable it. Like look at the picture on the right. Like that's not the optimal way to play. Like you don't want to be like. There's no way that you'll want to play with a blurry screen when you turn if you're trying to actually play the game competitively or try to win or whatever. Same as weapon motion blur, doesn't do anything. Get it off. Square minimap instead of round. Always have square because you actually can see way more. I don't know why this is an option and why it's not just square. It really makes no sense. Blackout was the same, to be honest. You could have round or square, but you know. As you can see here, I have minimap rotation enabled. So if you look at the left one and look at the right one, as you can see, the one on the right with it enabled, you can actually see more. So if there's a guy across the street in the other building, just using this for an example, and he's just out of your minimap view, what you do is you can rotate your screen to the right and sort of tilt your minimap to the right, and you can maybe see him and extend your map that little bit extra further. So minimap rotation enabled always, and these are all just, you know, a bunch of random stuff. So audio, I literally have boost high and then 20% audio because this game blows out your eardrums, and everything else in this section is pretty much preference. So yeah, that's my settings. That's what I run. We're going to go on to the class setups. My class setups has changed a little bit because the meta of the game has switched up. I have class setups. I have a class setup for absolutely going crazy, grinding for kills, and then I have like 4 stealth classes that I like to use. So, getting on with the classes. Here's the sniper. I'm going to put this on screen, as you can see. Monolithic suppressor, HDR69, pro barrel. I get a lot of questions about the scope. I'll go into detail in a second, but it's the Cronin 480 Pro optic. I use sleight of hand because. Actually, you know what? I'm actually gonna take off bipod for this aim down sights one. I think that's way better, actually. I don't know why that was like that, but yeah, this is the way I would have it. I don't know why I didn't have I thought I had a stock on. So yeah, so the snake shots actually got buffed in a recent patch. So the pistol that I've reverted to is the Renetti. Here is the Renetti loaded I use, monolithic suppressor, MK3 burst mod, lightweight trigger, 27 round mag, and I use this stock right here, the FTX Satis CS3. It turns it into like a pocket AR. It's actually awesome. I use this on like most of my classes. Actually, I think I use this one. Yeah, I use this one. Yeah, this is the one I use. This one is an absolute beast. And perks, I did actually change tune up till amped for switching to the secondary weapon a lot faster because I mainly. So yeah, Claymore heartbeat sensor on this class because, you know, if I'm sniping, I'm gonna be looking at a looking at a window in a building, and I need to get the door behind me covered. So I recently got the new LMG, and this has been what I have on it so far. Lightweight suppressor, I will change that to monolithic. This first barrel. This thermals or Solo Zero NVG enhanced, awesome sight. Sleight of hand because, you know, it's an LMG. The reload is pretty crazy. I could put on 200 round belt, but I don't want to slow down the gun too much. And then that commando foregrip for that recoil stabilization. Same thing, same perks, same secondary weapon. Everything's the same. Only this time I have a C4 because this is a more running gun type class. So yeah, C4 for blowing up cars or whatever. You know, this is my class I like to go for kills. So I did change my M4 just a little bit. So what I done with my M4 from the last video is I actually took off the no stock attachment and replaced it with a stipple grip tape. What this will do is it'll give you a lot more recoil control, and you'll also get the aim down sights and sprint to fire speed from the stipple grip tape. So give that a go, and yeah. Then for the perks, I took off Ghost for overkill because this is the class I like to go for kills, like high kills. And I have an MP5 on. This is the MP5 kit, monolithic suppressor, Merc foregrip, 45 round 45 round mags. A lot of people say use the 10mm, but honestly, I've seen a lot of pros and like really high kill streamers use the 45 round mag, and through testing, what I found is literally like, the 45 round mags actually just shred, and you're basically going to be using it up close anyway. So yeah, it's not that big of a deal. I also have sleight of hand, and then the F-Tac collapsible stock as well. And I also have C4 and heartbeat sensor. Yet again, C4 because it's more run and gun class. Here's the MP5 class if you want to just have it as a stealth class. Get the MP5, like I said. Actually, it should be sleight of hand. Get the MP5, like I said, with the Renetti and Ghost. You also have a C4 as well. And then, because I love the Grau 556 so much, I made it its own kit. And here's what I run. Basically, it's the exact same as the M4. This should be heartbeat sensor. So it's exactly like the M4. We have the monolith suppressor, we have the Tempest Archangel barrel, we have the Commando foregrip, we get the 60 round mag, we get the Arc Void 2 for that sprint to fire and ADS speed. You do lose a little bit of recoil control, but because we don't have the no stock attachment, it actually isn't that bad. But yeah, that's all my classes, my settings, that's everything I run in my game. This is a more updated video because I did post a settings video in the past, and I did post a loadout video in the past. But this is just a more updated one because, you know, the game's went through a lot of changes, and the meta has kind of shifted a bit since last video. So I just wanted to make this little updated video, and hopefully you guys, you know, can up your game a little bit if you're struggling, and maybe use what I use. Obviously settings and stuff like sensitivity aren't gonna really, you know, it's all personal preference, but if you guys want to give it a shot and see if it works for you, because it works for me, go ahead, give it a go. Anyway, it's from Mr. Mo, gonna throw this video up. I will be streaming later on today. I'm actually gonna stream on YouTube for once, or stream on YouTube again rather. Kind of missed the vibe of YouTube, to be honest, but yeah. Anyway, it's been Mr. Mo, signing off.